Hello again, ladies and gentlemen. Saka here with another episode of NASCAR Racing 2003 season. We are with the 2000 mod, continuing our championship in wine country, Sonoma, California, at the then known Infineon Raceway. Call it Sears Point, call it Sonoma, call it Infineon, whatever you want to call it. Whatever it is, it's the first road course race of the year, and Brandon and I have discussed some strategy. This race is 12 laps long, and there are 12 laps in the tank. We are betting that these guys are going to pit. Oh, what's up with Kinza? We're guessing these guys are going to have to pit once. They're not going to try to stretch it. So as soon as we come around for a lap, we're going to top off. And green flag is in the air. Let's mind our P's and Q's. Up the hill past turn 1 here and into 2. I believe they call this 2A. And kind of minding our business here. We definitely don't want to stick our nose into a bad position, especially since pitting on the first lap will allow us, good save Brandon, will allow us to let these guys go. We can run our own race. Whoa, okay, easy does it. Really loose. Road course racing is a refined skill that I haven't quite got at this particular racetrack. Watkins Glen, however, I think I'll be much better. Brandon down there to the inside, but looking forward to how this race is going to go. A lot of points up for grabs for sure. Let's make our way downhill through the S's here, third gear. We'll clip the rumble strips just a little bit and then get a pretty straight drive through up to fourth gear here, and then we'll be looking for our pit stop here just a moment. Down into fourth, we'll do some braking here. We won't take on any tires. One lap, we didn't put a lot of wear in them. We want just to top off with that half can and be done. Pit road starts on this backside here down into third and second gear, as if we were going through the turn, but we are behind the wall now. And pit road timing line is right there, 3,000 in second gear. Now these guys are going to go and run their own race and do their own thing, and Brandon and I will have clear racetrack in front of us so that the leaders will be brought back to us, and if there's a caution and they decide to pit, we will pass everybody on pit road, and that's the easiest way to make up spots here. Splash and go, off we go. We are topped off, and we have 12 laps in the tank and 11 laps to go. So we're feeling good. We can drive a little bit conservative if we wanted to maintain that fuel. Be sure we are good for the finish. And let's just settle in here. Infineon has a lot of elevation change, not as much as Watkins Glen, however, but this track feels narrower than Watkins Glen for sure. The old Sears Point used to turn off just to the right over here. That access road right there on the right went to a carousel and actually came back out to a hairpin turn right over here. But they changed the layout. They call this the short track, or the GT track, I guess they called it in Gran Turismo or Forza. But this is where we're settling in. Brandon chirps the tires a bit in fourth gear, and we're going to settle in for these last 10 laps. Of course, the leaders will pit. We do not know when that will be. We can try to pace Brandon here and save our tires. Not exactly fighting for position here. We're being smarter than working harder. So we're counting on those cars to come down pit road. Turn 11 here, the slowest turn on the racetrack, a second gear or even first gear corner. And one thing that Brandon and I noticed is we have plenty of drive off of that hairpin. If we get beside an AI vehicle, we have the drive to accelerate past them. It's like that drag strip that's just to our right there. All right, up the hill here. We'll see where we can catch Brandon, see where we are faster than he is. He pushes up a little bit there, and so do we. Just keeping all 4 tires on the pavement is the name of the game here. We don't want to go sliding off, especially with no pressure. And then once the cars come off pit road, I believe we're going to be running faster laps than them right here. So we may make up even more spots than if we were staying on the track and fighting. Down into second gear here. This is another big passing opportunity for this racetrack. But you got to get single filed out before you come down these S's. It's really precarious to be side by side because you need to drive essentially straight through these things in order to maintain your speed. And if you're side by side, you're taking away each other's line, getting in each other's way. It's not fun for anyone unless you're Marcos Ambrose, if you remember that guy. That's going back a few years. He wasn't in the 2000 Cup, but, you know, a road racer through and through. Back through turn 11 here, and we can't compare our launch to Brandon, because he has the same setup as we do, so his gearing is the exact same. He really paced us there, that's for sure. He got through that last turn a lot better. And if we were to make up overall speed, that would be the part of the track to do it. That launch off the hairpin and through the front straightaway. All right, easy does it here. We're almost halfway through this race already. It's a quick race, being a road course, and if I'm honest, there's a lot of work to do on my part to race a road course. I remember last year when I was racing my worst to first challenge, starting dead last, trying to work my way up. That was pretty intense. It didn't work out well for me, but maybe this race will end up better. We definitely caught Brandon a whole lot more there, and I think his tires are starting to go away a touch. We might catch him through these S's. Yeah, he looks to be a little loose. That car is not responding well. We can probably catch him down here in turn 10 under some braking, and maybe take a look to the inside in turn 11. We're definitely faster through this section, but we shouldn't be pushing our tires too much, as the AI that will pit will have fresher tires when they do come out. So we want to essentially keep the tires under us as much as possible, get that launch here. Looking to the left for any cars that are on pit road, and I do see a couple, I believe. We're going to make up, no positions made up there. Perhaps next lap they'll start to pit. They may have split this race in half, but we were sort of banking on a caution to come out. Road course racing, when you plan your fuel, as soon as your fuel window opens, you better pit, because the moment you stay out an extra lap and that caution comes out, you come down for tires and fuel, and everyone else doesn't, and you have a long road to hold to pass them all. All right, down into turn 7 here. All right, nice and easy. The car does feel okay. This is the fast setup rather than the Jasper. The Jasper setup felt really loose, and it looks like Brandon is pretty loose right there. We're going to stay right on his bumper. But the Jasper setups felt neutral. Like, it didn't feel like the car was in the track. The fast setup was definitely better for our particular driving style. Your mileage may vary, but whatever gets us to the front is what we're going to go with here. A lot of shifting and a lot of strategy comes into play in road racing. It's not just sheer driving skill, but when you pit, how you get through your gears, and all that other stuff. All right, do we make up any spots this time around? We do not, so they still haven't pitted yet. Good thing is we're not in danger of going a lap down, so, you know, we're just sort of biding our time here, pushing up bad there on turn 2. This track is so easy to drive and so narrow. If you miss a braking point or a shifting point, you'll end up off for sure. These hills are kind of blind. You have to get the car pointed in the correct direction before you get up on top of the hill, otherwise you'll be flung off. Some drivers like to go out to those tires to the left and use all of that racetrack up. I find that to be a little bit dangerous for my taste, especially running alone as we are now. There's no need to be flashy and jump the rumble strips and go right out to the tires, because we're not trying to set qualifying laps here. We're just trying to stay in touch with the lead group, and when they pit, that is when we are going to pounce, and we're going to see if we can do any damage from inside the field. All right, let's pass turn 11 one more time and look to our left and see if we can find anyone on pit road this time around. Our spotter hadn't told us that the leader's on pit road yet. Yeah, there's a lot of cars on pit road now, so all of these are free positions. The easiest spots to make up on the track right here. Yeah, we're going to pass almost half the field right there. Looks like Ward Burton is blending here, and we've got some company. So the first half of the race, we separate ourselves, and now someone blew up. Oh, that's not good for whomever blew up. But let's see if we can get this car in front of Brandon. He's going to set his sights on him. The leader is coming down pit road now, which should complete the cycle. It was probably a 2-lap cycle between one half of the field and the other, not counting us, of course. We are catching Jeff Burton pretty handily, I must say. I don't know if he chose not to take tires. With the AI only having to take a splash of fuel, there is a good bet that they did not take tires either. So if we were able to save our tires now, instead of racing hard like Jeff Burton may have done, we are actually in a pretty good position. We'll see if Brandon can capitalize here coming down into turn 11. He'll look to the right, try to outbrake Jeff Burton. Looks like he'll be right there, and we will catch up as best we can. Brandon sort of washes up, but watch this drive he gets. Power! Down we go, and we will even make short work of Jeff Burton. Put us in front, and where does that leave us for the race? All right, a top 20 going right now, with more cars coming off the pit road. These are the last cars that pitted. Let's race Mark Martin. Heads up, a little into him, just a touch. In real life, that may have cut our tires down, but let's see how we fare against the 6 Valvoline car of Mark Martin. Car is feeling pretty decent, all things considered, with the lack of grip. We're on his inside here. Let's see if we can get that power down. Ooh! Car comes out from under us just a bit. That's the tire wear kicking in for sure. Oh, Brandon's off in the dirt. Brandon will rejoin the race, it looks like. Mark adores us, forces us out of the line, and Jeff Burton will take advantage. You sneaky sod. All right, we'll try to pass whoever is the slowest here. It's sort of a rolling roadblock. I know I'm faster than both of these guys. Out of the way, Mark. All right, we are going to pass Mark Martin here, try to get a run in turn 10, not wash out to the dirt too awful bad. All right, fine. You want to play hardball? We'll play hardball. I'll just outbrake you going into 11. How's that? And then we should get that good drive here. All right, drive. Yep, we're going to pass him here. Let's come around, set our sights on Jeff Burton. Everything is awesome. Yeah. This was a big game, all things considered position-wise. We've got our eyes set on Jeff Burton. I don't know how far the leaders are out in front, but if we can pass Jeff Burton, that'll be a pretty good day, I will say. All right, I know we're faster in these braking zones here in particular, as well as the next turn and then turn 11. We have to maintain our gap through the S's. Let's see if we can catch a little bit up through here. Maybe not as much as I would hope, but let's drive the S's as straight as possible, try to get as much speed. Jeff Burton is sort of gapping us just a bit here. We need to drive as hard as we can. Trouble. There's trouble? Why is there trouble? Who needs trouble? Yellow flag is out. Well, this, ladies and gentlemen, I believe this is the race right here. We'll try to keep Mark Martin behind us. As long as we don't overshoot turn 11, we're fine. He can go to our left because we're going to get this solid drive off of turn 11, beat him back to the line. Well, maybe. Drive. Big gear. Rough him up just a touch into 4th gear and take the yellow. Yeah. So that's going to do it. That's where we're going to finish, it seems. Well, I will save you the long struggle of these caution laps here at Sonoma. They're about 3.5 minutes a pop, so I'm going to speed ahead and see if we go back green, and if not, then I'll, Hey, Mark, I'll be with you for my final thoughts. One moment. Coming down to take the checkered flag. Obviously, I would have liked to go back racing to see if I had anything for these guys. A pretty solid finish considering where we started. I mean, a top 5 certainly isn't bad. I'm not going to go back to pit road. That is a long drive back, so I'll just pull on over here and see what brought out that last caution that sort of doomed us to finish exactly where we were. Dale Jarrett is your winner there. Let's go back a bit, see when the yellow flag came out, and see, well, there was the yellow there. Now let's see exactly when, oh, that's an epic camera angle, I like that. Let's see exactly when the yellow came out, and we can sort of get a feel of what may have brought out the caution. The thing with road courses is things can, you know, people can spin off course and you not see the yellow or bring out the yellow. They'd just be like a local yellow, not a full course. So it had to be pretty big in order to bring out the full course yellow. Let's go back and, oh, wow, there's someone in trouble. Jeffrey Bodine. Okay, so he was in trouble, but Ward Burton was already in trouble. What happened to Ward? Oh, well, that's counterproductive. Okay, there's Brandon. So Brandon hops the curb a bit here, going down into there. So 2 bad weeks for Ward. Brandon's got the spot. He sort of wheel hops, drives into Ward Burton. Brandon gets it back going, and Ward is in reverse for some reason. So as Ward Burton goes spinning off into oblivion, bringing out the caution, let's take a look at the standings for this week. Brandon's still leading with 4. Earnhardt and myself have 3. Dale Jarrett now passes Jeff Gordon and Tony Stewart with 2 wins apiece. The rest of the field is pretty much set. Dale Jr. passes Matt Kenseth for that last position. Jeff Burton 500 points ahead. That guy is pretty much a lock for the championship 16. Whether or not he'll be able to do anything in further rounds leaves yet to be desired, but that's going to do it for me in this episode, ladies and gentlemen, of NASCAR Racing 2003 season. Like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. Thank you so much for tuning in, and next week we go plate racing back at Daytona. Take care.